So it hasn't been a week since Leon Edwards got dethroned by Bilal Muhammad in a somewhat shocking upset. And there's already been a lot of coping going on around the MMA media, from a lot of fans, and of course from Leon Edwards himself and his coach Dave Lavelle. And a lot of the excuses are the main common excuse is, the time zone difference where they had them fight at like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. in the morning to cater to the North American audience. And those excuses, a lot of them are coming from Leon and the fans. A lot of people are saying that had something to do with the outcome. You got Dave Lavelle out here saying that Leon Edwards came into this fight with, I quote, niggly injuries. Apparently, he broke his back, spinal, not Mike Tyson. Apparently, he had a back injury going into this fight, according to Dave Lavelle. So, all these excuses surrounding this loss, it just begs the question, are Leon Edwards' excuses, are the excuses for him, not necessarily his own excuses, but are the excuses for Leon Edwards valid? That is the title of this video. And in my personal opinion, okay, here's DJC's take. I mean, I don't want to say that, I don't want to say that Leon didn't come in this fight injured, or that him having to fight at 5 a.m. didn't have some sort of effect on his performance. I do want to give Leon the benefit of the doubt. I do want to be fair. But the thing is, no fighter goes into a fight 100%. Every fighter comes into a fight. No one makes it through a camp 100% healthy. There's always some niggly injury going on, and Leon Edwards has went 9 years without losing a fight in between the first Usman fight and the second Bilal fight. And I'm pretty sure within those 9 years, he's went on like a 12, 13 fight win streak, with 13 of those wins, him going in those fights injured. Now, it is unfortunate if he did have a back injury in this fight. I'm sure having an injured back could have an effect on your ability to wrestle. But I mean, not bad for a bad back guy, because Leon Edwards was able to reverse position, get his own takedowns, control Bilal Muhammad. So honestly, I don't feel like them fighting in the morning, and the injuries that Leon may have had, I don't believe that had something to do with his loss to Bilal Muhammad. And this is not me saying that he just could never beat Bilal Muhammad, or that Bilal is just that much better than Leon Edwards. Of course, if they have a trilogy, it's always possible that Leon could win, because, I mean, look what happened when he lost to Usman. He went on to beat him twice afterwards. He got his revenge on Usman in the worst way possible. And he did it again, proving it wasn't a fluke. So, of course, he has the tools to beat Bilal Muhammad, but we cannot discredit Bilal for that perfect performance that he put on in that fight. Because here's the thing, that the way Leon Edwards lost on Saturday honestly proves everything I've been saying about Leon ever since he won the title. Even a little bit before that, I've always thought that Leon is a good fighter, but he's overrated. The fan base massively overrates Leon Edwards. They kind of gave him this God complex, you know what I mean? They acted like he was some kind of GOAT of the division when he was never great. He's always been a good fighter. He's always been a skilled fighter. He's always been good everywhere the fight goes. But Leon Edwards has a weakness when it comes to dealing with relentless pressure. Guys who can walk him against the fence. Guys who don't allow Leon to pick his shots and snipe at them, you know what I mean? He struggles with guys with volume and high level wrestling. That's one of the reasons why I picked Colby to beat him, because I didn't I didn't predict that Colby Covington was going to fight like an absolute pussy in there. I thought Colby was going to go out there, push a relentless pace, and chain wrestle, which he didn't do. Barely shot any takedowns, didn't push a pace. Belal Muhammad did to Leon Edwards what you're supposed to do to Leon Edwards. What Usman did in the second fight, which was working. Now, a lot of people blame the altitude and whatnot. And yeah, it didn't work, in the third fight. But again, Usman, not the same Usman after getting kicked into the Shadow Realm. Not the same man. That just took a lot out of him. That was not the same Kamaru Usman. And Leon came into that fight high on confidence. Plus, didn't underestimate Kamaru Usman going in that fight. It was just a perfect night for Leon. I'm sure, Saturday was one of Leon's worst nights. I'm not trying to say it wasn't. But what I'm trying to say is, the point being in this video is, you can't, how can you look at that second Usman fight and think that Leon Edwards was going to get away with that bad performance against Usman and go on this long reign as champion? I've been saying since 2022 that Leon was not going to be a champion for a long time, that he's not going to get that many defenses of the title. And I said one of these high-level wrestler grapplers in this division, they're going to beat him. And again, there's an excuse for why Usman lost the third fight. There's an excuse for why Colby lost that fight to Leon. Both of them were washed. Belal Muhammad, he may be 36, but he's not washed up. He's a late bloomer. He's still in the prime of his career. Leon fought a fresh opponent with all the right tools. Usman and Colby had the tools, but they just were kind of done with in their careers. Belal ain't done. He had all the right tools in the world to get the job done, and he got the job done. Not to mention, Leon Edwards also underestimated Belal. He treated him like a joke, in the build-up. He was very dismissive of Belal's skill set. It was just very clear that he wasn't taking this fight seriously. And maybe if he didn't underestimate Belal, maybe he could have done better. Sure, maybe if the fight wasn't early in the morning, I'm not trying to say the outcome would be different, but maybe Leon would have had a better chance. Maybe if his back wasn't injured, maybe he would have a better chance to win. But I truly believe that Belal Muhammad had the perfect style to beat Leon, and he was perfectly prepared. And Leon Edwards didn't take it seriously when Belal took it seriously. Belal came to fight. Belal came in prepared. He knew what he was getting himself into. And also, he had the whole nation of Palestine on his back. There's no way he was losing and letting them down. It was just meant to be. Belal was destined to win this fight, but yeah, we need to give Belal Muhammad credit. And I know there's a lot of people giving Belal credit. There's also a lot of excuses for Leon too, but I would say the answer to that question of his excuses being valid, they're not valid. They're not, because even if all those things are true, those things I'm sure were the case in all the fights that he's won. I'm sure he was injured when he fought Nate Diaz. You know what I mean? He was affected in the second Usman fight by altitude, and he still pulled it out and won. So, yeah, I don't think there's really an excuse for him there. I just think that styles make fights. Leon can't wrestle. Leon can't deal with good pressure fighters who can mix it up, who can pressure and wrestle effectively, chain wrestle as well. And another thing too, Leon Edwards, his cardio is not bad, but he does slow down as the rounds go on. He is a guy who does slow down. So the fact that Leon got tired in this fight, it's no surprise that he faded under that high pressure from Belal Muhammad. Also, Leon Edwards is a very low output striker. Belal Muhammad is a high output striker. So you take a low output sniper like Leon with lack of wrestling ability and you put him up against a really good wrestler with good cardio and good pressure and good volume, that's a recipe for disaster for a guy like Leon Edwards. So, fact of the matter is, Leon Edwards, he got fraud checked in my opinion. He got exposed. Now again, he is a good fighter. He was a good champion. He was able to get good wins, but I do believe that he is a bit overrated. I do believe his legacy is a bit overrated as well because of how he won the title, how that fight went. He got kind of lucky, and then Usman wasn't the same. Colby wasn't the same. Colby didn't even deserve the title shot. Like, the first real legit contender that Leon fought, that was deserving of a shot. I mean, Usman was deserving, but again, the first legit real contender who wasn't washed up, we saw what happened. Leon Edwards folded. I'm sure Leon will be able to bounce back from here against a more favorable style matchup, but I don't think he'll be champion again, honestly. Like, the belt's going to pass around between Shavkat and Bilal. Whoever wins that fight, I mean, he might be able to beat Bilal in a third fight, maybe. He has a chance, but I don't think he beats Shavkat Rakhmonov. That's a topic for another video. If you put him up against Ian, he gets it done. If you put him up against Jack, he might get it done as well. But I think it's safe to say Leon just isn't the best in the division. He never was. And in hindsight, the guy just isn't better than Bilal Muhammad. So, yeah. But that's just my take on the whole thing. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and peace out.